What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out. And with this video, we're jumping into Wolverine issue number 16. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with this line, go ahead, check out the link in my description, as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on Wolverine. And what has been going on currently with Wolverine is that he has been battling and trying to find SOLEM. And that's because he's looking for the Muramasa blade. After losing this blade, he has made it his sole purpose to be able to get it back. And with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so we are picking up at the Green Lagoon in Krakoa. And right now, Wolverine, he is sitting down having a drink, contemplating everything that has been happening. Not sure if SOLEM is a victim, maybe even a predator. Not sure if the stories he's been told are real or fake, trying to figure out what is true, what are lies. But while he is sitting here having a drink, contemplating all of this, SOLEM comes up to him. Because SOLEM wants to sit down and have a conversation. Of course, Wolverine immediately goes defensive. Those claws come out and he is ready to just annihilate him. And really, SOLEM is just playing with him. As they sit down, they have a glass of wine. Wolverine just loses it. Dang near flips this table over and is ready to just drive his claws into any way of SOLEM that he possibly can. But SOLEM came here for a reason. And of course, Wolverine is going to hear him out. He's going to hear what he has to say at the very least. Because SOLEM is hoping that they can help one another. Because together they have a mutual problem. And that is the pirate Blackmore. And as we've seen throughout the last couple of issues, Blackmore definitely has some kind of infatuation with SOLEM. Wanting to take everybody down, no matter who it is, because if they are in his way, of getting to SOLEM, nothing is going to stop him. And Blackmore had made a deal with Wolverine for them together to take down SOLEM, and in exchange he would get the Muramasa blade. Now of course SOLEM is telling him that that's simply impossible, that will never happen, and that this won't be the end of Blackmore. He will continue pillaging, he will continue to take whatever he wants, and eventually he will make his way here to Krakoa. Now of course SOLEM, he tries to play it like he is just the innocent bystander in all of this, as if he is the victim to Blackmore, trying to let us know that Blackmore really did torture and torment him. Because his skin is made of adamantium, it is almost impossible for him to get hurt. But through starvation, through isolation, through pure exhaustion, these are things that Blackmore has used against SOLEM in all the years he was under his reign. And when it comes to the logic diamonds, he's saying that it is simply a misunderstanding. And that's not to say that he didn't steal the logic diamonds, but he stole them from under Blackmore while he was negotiating with the Russians. But he informs Wolverine that those diamonds, they are actually here. They are here on Krakoa. And of course, no one's going to believe this, especially Wolverine. Like, why would I believe that you brought the logic diamonds back here to Krakoa where they belong? But of course, he didn't bring them back because of goodwill. He brought them back because he wants a slice of Krakoa. He's more or less looking to try and set up shop here. And SOLEM wants to try to prove this to him. And so they make a deal. They make a deal to try and take down Blackmore. Wolverine giving the stipulations that if you give me the Muramasa blade, then me and you can go take down Blackmore together. And so with SOLEM agreeing to these terms, that's where we pick up on the ship of Blackmore. With SOLEM tied up, looking like a prisoner, it looks like we are about to have an exchange. And with Blackmore having the other Muramasa blade, Blackmore wants to use this blade to cut his way straight through SOLEM. But before Blackmore gets the opportunity to do so, we see Wolverine cut him free. With him cutting him free, they are supposed to both attack Blackmore. But what actually happens is SOLEM, he runs and jumps off the side, leaving Wolverine to fend for himself. Because Blackmore and SOLEM, they made a deal behind Wolverine's back. And this deal was to take Wolverine off the map completely. But either way, SOLEM wins in this. Either Wolverine is off his back or Blackmore is off his back. But either way, SOLEM is going to benefit from this fight. And with Blackmore having that acidic blood, Wolverine has to be extremely careful in how he battles this guy. And so with the fight breaking out, we see the mask coming down. We see Wolverine doing his best to keep his distance, to not sink his blade into him, to use his surroundings to be able to take Blackmore down. And honestly, at this point, Wolverine is done. He is tired of Solomon, he is tired of Blackmore, he is tired of this whole freaking game. And what we see Wolverine do is he goes over and he pulls the anchor up. Grabbing the anchor, he takes it and he wraps it around Blackmore. With Blackmore now trapped, Wolverine kicks him straight overboard. And Blackmore, he goes sinking to the bottom of the ocean. And so with Wolverine coming out victorious and now in possession of the Muramasa blade, and with the pirate no longer at the helm, he decides that he's going to take this ship and make it as a replacement for the Marauder. And so he drives it over to Hellfire Bay. Coming upon the White Palace, he is met by the White Queen, the one and only Emma Frost. And he lets her know that this ship is now hers, that it now belongs to her. Not only that, but Wolverine has come here for some kind of assistance. With everything going on with these logic diamonds, you know, Wolverine has worked solo for many years. But now that he is part of Krakoa, he's part of this bigger picture. He has allies, he has people to help him out. And this entire voyage so far, he's been working solo. So he figures, why not? It's about time that I go enlist some help. I go get some help from someone that can truly help me in this situation. And who better to help him than freaking Emma Frost? And so Wolverine, knowing that Solem is here on Krakoa, he enlists the help of Black Tom. Now there are places inside of Krakoa that Black Tom can't see, kind of like little pockets or closets inside of Krakoa. And one of those places is the Arakan Point, the little island left behind for Arako, the transit hub, where you go back and forth between Mars and Krakoa. This is where Solem has been hiding out all along, in this in-between place, and using other mutants to his delight, but not just mutants, but the island itself. The island becoming somehow part of this cult. And as Wolverine walks up on this place, the island wraps him up. Solem coming out saying that he is happy to see that Wolverine was the one to survive. Simply stating it wasn't anything personal, he really just wanted to win. And so Solem, having Krakoa let go of him, he goes in wondering how this place is freaking working, how any of this makes sense. And really, they give Solem an enduring audience, and he gives them song, wine, and poetry. And then Krakoa, it feeds off of their real narcotic pleasure in exchange for a kingdom of his own, a little isolated area away from everything else. And of course, the logic diamonds are here. Not only that, but we are seeing 3 eggs. And more or less, it's his own personal Cerebro. Not only that, but having oversight to the Mars Transit Hub as well. He really has created his own little sanctuary here. But Solem tells him, you know, I know that you're going to try to stop me. I know you're going to attempt to stop everything that I'm doing here. But you have 2 options here. That you can stay and play with all of us, or you can F off. But in the midst of this conversation, this is where Wolverine's backup shows up. The one and only Emma Frost. Because Solem said he likes shiny things. And this is where Wolverine, he takes off. He takes his leave. Solem completely confused on it, wondering why Wolverine's leaving. Wolverine lets him know, like, I can throw punches all day long, and you still find a way to abduct me and take advantage of every situation. But when it comes to Emma Frost, you have truly met your match. And Emma Frost tells him they have a lot to talk about. From Christian to the Marauder to the load of logic diamonds. And she might even let him be a partner in some things. But at the end of the day, he is going to be a pawn to her queen. And that's what picks us up a little bit later, with Wolverine contemplating everything that is going on, with Emma Frost doing the interrogation of Solem, and him now having the Muramasa blades back together. There is much more that is happening, much more that is about to befall them, because the Hand's new Hell Bride, whose husband Wolverine had killed at the altar, she is back, and she is coming for Wolverine. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. This was a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I know a lot of people weren't hugely keen on Solem as a whole, as a character. But I really do enjoy him because he's everything that Wolverine is not. If Wolverine were to give in to his base instincts, if he were to stop caring about people or anything or anyone, if he stopped caring about this dream of Krakoa, this is kind of what we would see Wolverine look like. And so I really like to think of it as them putting up a mirror to Wolverine, showing this is what you could be. This is what you choose not to be every single day. Because at the end of the day, Solem didn't even care about the Muramasa blades. They meant absolutely nothing to him, more as trinkets or accessories. Whereas Wolverine, he sees that these swords need to be held to their ancient traditions, especially having the soul of Muramasa inside of them. This isn't something small to Wolverine, and he feels like he needs to continue to honor not only Muramasa, but the blades as well. Now, it's going to be very interesting, is Blackmore actually dead? The pirate Blackmore, with him being tied up in that anchor and sunk to the bottom of the ocean. Did he die in that? Or are we going to see him come back and be extremely vengeful towards Wolverine? I can only assume that we're going to see his return eventually. But I think it's super awesome that Wolverine ended up going to Emma Frost. And that's the great thing about this new era of X-Men, is you have individuals like Wolverine who've always worked alone, who have consistently done it by themselves, been the lone wolf, and now they're not. And while they try to stick to that format still to this day, they get reminded that they have allies, they have people that are just stupid overpowered, stupid powerful, even aside from their power sets, that he can go to and ask for a favor. And that's exactly what we see him do, going to Emma Frost, and Solem's jaw is just dropping at the sight of Emma Frost. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. And until the next breakdown.